here in Dallas, Texas. Beautiful AT&T Stadium. Plenty of Cardinal fans in this building, and they are hanging out and celebrating a 10-point road victory. Dak Prescott has to be shaking his head walking off the field. He was under duress throughout. This Arizona Cardinal defense pressured him, turned him over a bunch. And you heard Joe and Troy talking about it at the close of the broadcast. Jacoby Brissett has looked awfully good filling in for an injured Kyler Murray. Have to wonder, will he remain the starter moving forward? How are you? I'm Scott Van Pelt. Great to have you along with us. Trey McBride's going to join us here on the set, or on the big set here, as we continue on a little later on SportsCenter. As for this game tonight, to wrap up Week 9, it was the week where we saw a number of surprising results. Dallas expected to win, small favorites in this one, but they trail by 10. In the second half, Arizona comes out of the locker room, gets the football. Brissett, Michael Wilson on the run, big gain of 50. And then McBride, he has a weapon anywhere on the field, and particularly in the red zone. That pushes the lead to 17. Arizona played from in front throughout. The only touchdown for Dallas tonight for much of the game was a blocked punt. Finally, Prescott finds Florida there in the back of the end zone. It's a 10-point lead at this point. Dallas gets the ball back, and here Javonte Williams fighting for extra yardage, but he can't hold on to the football. Tremendous job by this Cardinal defense. It was flying to the ball. They rip it out, turn him over, and Brissett and the Cardinals, after excruciatingly close losses, get a 10-point road victory here over Dallas. And we sent it up to the booth to visit with Joe and Troy. And gentlemen, at the end of your broadcast, you were talking about these close losses. Joe, in the history of the league, it's only been a handful of times we'd seen anybody lose 5 by 4 or fewer. They did not let that bleed into this game tonight at all. What most impressed you about the way Arizona won this football game?
I think that very point, and I think Jonathan Gannon has done a really good job of keeping this team focused on what the job was this week. They've got good veteran leadership, and Calais Campbell got a couple of sacks late in the ballgame. He's part of that. And certainly is Jacoby Brissett. He's on his 6th team in 10 years total in the league. He's seen a lot. He's been in a lot of different systems, 8 head coaches, 8 different offensive coordinators, and yet he has really put this offense on his back, and they've looked better the last 3 games. And they outplayed the Dallas Cowboys basically in every phase except for that special teams mistake that they made with a block punt.
Totally agree, and you guys closed the broadcast with a point about this guy. And Troy, a capable backup in this league is incredibly important, but a capable starter is even more important. You feel like he ought to be the starter moving forward?
Well, I do. I think you've got to, put aside salaries and what someone's being paid and look at performance or how the team has played up to this point. And I think as we discussed, Jacoby Brissett has given a little life to this offense. They look better the last 2 games coming into tonight. Obviously, those were losses. That they've come in tonight, even if Brissett had played well, they probably go back to Kyler Murray. My guess is they're going to stick with Jacoby Brissett. He's been good, and tonight he was phenomenal. I thought at times when he had pressure on him, he was still delivering the football accurately. There was a lot of good things, but Jacoby Brissett probably at the top of that list.
Yeah, and I thought Joe made a great point as well about just the locker room, right? You're going to want to head in a positive direction, and Brissett helped push him there. And Troy, on Countdown, when you joined us, we talked about the yin and the yang of the Cowboys. There's plenty they have shown us that makes you compelled to say this could be a really good team. And then there's also the downside. And we saw it perhaps tonight on the defensive side of the football as well, where you just go, I don't know if it's a good football team moving forward. Where does tonight leave you as it relates to the Cowboys?
Well, it's not a good football team. I mean, Bill Parcells once said, you are what your record says you are, and their record says they're not a very good football team, and average at best. And, Brian Schottenheimer even alluded to that this week. But this is a big blow to this franchise and this team because, they really felt coming into tonight, playing Arizona at home, they've played well at home, that they would win this game. They've got the bye coming up. Then they travel to Las Vegas to take on the Raiders, that they could kind of dig out of the hole that they had dug themselves. And I don't know what the trade announcement's going to be tomorrow, that Jerry Jones has announced that they've made one. But it's hard to imagine that guy, whoever it might be, is going to make a difference for this team. They're much further away than that. But that was all kind of predicated on being able to win this game and feel good about things as they go into the bye. But right now, there's not a lot to feel good about.
Yeah, and that schedule moving further down the road, weeks 12 through 14, really gets rugged. This felt like one they had to get. They didn't get it. We got a great one next week at Lambeau. It's supposed to be cold up there, fellas. Pack that handsome turtleneck, Joe, that I believe you might have worn last time. We'll look forward to seeing you guys up at Lambeau for the Eagles and the Packers.
It was a mock turtleneck. It was like a dickie.
Understood.
Yeah, but I'll be happy to give it to you.
I'll pass on that, but maybe an ascot. We'll see. We'll see you guys at Lambeau. Thanks as always, man. Travel safe. Yep.